It's game time, folks. The Saints and the Pilots of Louisiana State University Shreveport. Saints a busy break, dominating the Frontier Classic in Phoenix with wins over Carroll College, Rocky Mountain, and Montana Tech. Then they traveled to New Orleans after the new year and took out Southern University in New Orleans and Dillard. 9-game winning streak. Undefeated conference foe tonight. Saints and the Pilots. Let's tip it off. As Sam and BK with the start. Sends it over to Desiree White. Desiree White will throw it over the top of Zarina Chatry. Turnover to start things off. As in the backcourt, Saints with the press. Pilots moving ahead. Gets over Sabrina Banks. Moved ahead. Gets inside there. Future Banks. Future Banks shot's going to be blocked, knocked away out of bounds. Last touched by the Saints. We Pilots basketball. 9:45 to go first quarter. 9:42 to go first quarter. Still scoreless. Inbound there. Shot quickly there. Taken by Deasia Thompson. And the Pilots take a 2-0 lead early on. Lena Wilson steps back with the basketball near the circle. Comes right side, right wing. Off to the corner, over to White. White baseline, looking for a little help. Ball tipped away, stolen there, Sabrina Banks. Banks back the other way, gets the red over to Jacobs. Jacobs will bring it back. It's Taylor Jacobs now. Right side guarded by Desiree White. Over to Sabrina Banks, Sam and BK on her. Back out over to Jacobs. Over to the far side, kicked around over to Silva, and now off to the corner. Three is up and good by Deasia Thompson. And the Pilots, a quick 5-0 run to start things off. Lena Wilson, other way, off the back iron, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Thompson. Saints putting pressure in the backcourt as Jacobs now right side. Cut there by Wilson. Looks back away, stolen by Desiree White. White will be fouled, and she'll go to the line and shoot a couple of free throws. So the foul called there on the Pilots, their first team foul. As the foul is going to be on Taylor Jacobs, her first personal. 2 shots coming up here for Desiree White. White, an 85% free throw shooter on the season, averaging just over 11 points a game for the Saints this year. Sophomore from Houston. First free throw, and an out, no good. Second shot coming up here for White. Saints still not on the scoreboard with 8:42 to go here in this first quarter. Second shot is good. So 5-1 is the score, not 2-1 as we saw there. Off the side there, Future Banks. Banks goes off the glass, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Silva. Back out, Thompson, another, that's a long 2, bounces around, caught the wire up top. I gotta be Saints basketball here. Lena Wilson brings the ball up. Pass Taylor Jacobs, goes in there. Piece of it there by Future Banks as Zarina Chatry tries to save it to send it back in. And will be Pilots basketball. Jacobs comes to the right side. Up ahead over to Banks. Banks puts up a tough shot, can't get it to go. Rebound knocked over to Sam and BK. BK, or now Desiree White. White looking for help, gets around over to Lena Wilson. Wilson dribbles right side, looks for the screen from Chatry. Stays with it though, 15 on the shot clock. Over to Casey Saldana. Saldana moves past Silva on the defense, no good. Rebound by Chatry, tries to go back up. Shot is blocked by Sabrina Banks. Back the other way come the Pilots with a 4-point lead, under 7.5 now to play first quarter. Silva tries to go underneath, whistle and a foul. She'll be shooting 2. She tried to go underneath the reverse, caught the bottom of the rim. Foul is going to be called on Desiree White. That'll be her first personal. Team's first. So Leah Silva going to the line, where she's a 64% free throw shooter this season, averaging just over 9.5 points a game for the Pilots. And first shot is good. Back to a 5-point lead. And the officials are going to whistle and confer with each other about something here. Men's game will be coming up about 30 minutes or so at the conclusion of this one. Saints 16th in the country. LSU-Shreveport receiving votes in the top 25. So the foul is not on Desiree White. The foul is on Zarina Shatry, who will pick up her first. And still teams first. Both teams with one team foul. And Leah Silva at the line to shoot. And off the mark, that's going to be... So the foul, the 1 of 2, and the foul called on Sabrina Banks. That's her first, team second. We had a little issue with the clock here. Our apologies on that. I'll keep you updated on time. So 7:19 to go in this first quarter. 6-1 Pilots charge out to the lead here against the Saints. Saints just 1 point so far, lead the nation in scoring average, over 92 a game. Taylor Jacobs gets the right side over to Silva, back over Sabrina Banks. Now finds Deasia Thompson. Thompson up top, gets back out, and Jacobs' three is off the mark, and the rebound picked up by Desiree White. White going to push it over to Saldana. Saldana will slow it up for a moment. This comes around off the screen over to Shatry. Shatry with it in a bit of a trouble. Now gets over to White. Back inside Shatry, inside the lane. Goes up strong. Can't get it to go. And the rebound pulled down by Future Banks. Silva over the top, and the turnover be Saints basketball. Still trailing 6-1 with 6:35 to go here. First quarter. So Lena Wilson. It's over to Saldana, who's going to be fouled by Leah Silva. And Silva looked like she took the worst of that. So it'll be her first, team's third here with 6.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Saldana. Over to Wilson. Wilson gets over the side, over to Desiree White. White over to MBK. Finds Saldana. Saldana over to White. White comes over right side. Sabrina Banks on her. Comes along the baseline. Tries to put it up. Can't get it to go. MBK comes back up with it. Goes back. Can't get it to go. Is going to be fouled and go to the free throw line. As the foul is going to be called on Deasia Thompson. Picks up her first. Team's fourth now with 6:10 to go first quarter. So Sam MBK at the line. Sam, a 75% free throw shooter on the season, is going to miss. Had some good free throw shooters at the line so far with Silva and BK and Desiree White, and both teams have struggled a bit. Saints a little worse now, one of 4 from the free throw line. Pressure in the backcourt. It's around over, and it's going to be 10 seconds, and the turnover on the Pilots. 5:58 to go here in this first quarter. It's Casey Saldana to inbound. Substitution coming in for the Pilots is Kiara Collins will check in. And coming out and going straight to the trainer's table is Deasia Thompson. Saldana in a bit of trouble, call for travel. And a turnover. Pilots have come out defensively very well here for the here in this one. As that is the 5th turnover now on the Saints here in this first quarter. So Taylor Jacobs back over to Silva. Silva all the way ahead. Future Banks gets behind. Zarina Shatry puts it in. And 8-1 the score. 5:26 to go first quarter. Lena Wilson from the wing, now up top over to Desiree White. White puts up a three off the back iron, no good. And Saints struggling from the line. Rebound pulled down by Sabrina Banks. Jacobs cross over to Silva. Saints 0 of 6 from the field as we are near the halfway point of quarter number 1. Banks, Sabrina, and the long two, too much on it on the shot there for Collins. Saints back the other way. Yet to hit a field goal in this one. Off the side, Lena Wilson, three-pointer, and again, Saints now 0 for 7 from the field. MBK in the corner. Comes around, spins in, off the glass, a whistle and a foul. Nice move there from Sam MBK. Spinning through defenders, gets up there. We'll go back to the line where she missed her first 2 free throws of the night. As Garrett Collins picks up the fouls, her first personal. Jamea Miller will check in for the Saints. As Lorena Chatchery will come out. Sierra Morris will check in for the Pilots. As Taylor Jacobs will come out. And BK will hit that shot. Six-point lead here for the Pilots. 4:39 to go, quarter number 1. And misses that one. So the Saints now 2 of 6 from the free throw line. All their points coming from the free throw line. So Morris, around over to Silva. Silva, back around over to Sabrina Banks. As off to the side over to Silva. Silva, 9 on the shot clock. Beautiful pass to future Banks. And an 8-point lead for the Pilots. Back the other way comes, and the first field goal coming from Lena Wilson will draw the Saints back to within 6 here, trailing 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Sabrina Banks going right for the basket, it's in. BK, rebound by Future Banks, goes back up, and it's good for Future Banks. 8-point lead again for the Pilots. Future Banks now 4 points here in this one. Actually, I believe she's got 6 points actually in this one. And BK, long 2, got it, Sam and BK. So the Saints, after missing their first 7 shots from the field, have hit the last 2. Quickly up over to Morris. Morris traveled as not expecting the pass to come back. And had to speed up there. And so the turnover. So Amiko Hemphill will come in now for the Saints. As Desiree White will come out. Lena Wilson now. 3:20 to go, quarter number 1. Saints trail by 6. Dribbles. Round over to Miller. Miller goes against Banks, trying to pass inside to Sam Mbike. Mbike not looking for it and will lose it out of bounds, a turnover. So 6 turnovers now on the Saints. As we near 3 minutes to go here, first quarter. And there, the bucket up and good, the Pilots. As Banks, it's another one. Selena Wilson, inside the lane, back out, around over to Jamea Miller. Miller, 3 over, Banks nails it. Jamea Miller with the 3 will draw the Saints back to within 5 as we near 2.5 to go, quarter number 1. Ball tipped around and a turnover picked up in BK. Hemphill now with it. Gets around over to Wilson, and Wilson will bring the ball front court for the Saints. Wilson goes up there, ball stripped away, saves it back inside over to Jamea Miller. Miller tries to reverse it, can't get it to go. Rebound knocked out, long rebound picked out. Now 3 by, shot blocked. A piece of it there. No, they're saying it wasn't blocked. So, Angeline Sanchez will come in for Casey Saldana now. As they're going to say that was just an air ball from Casey Saldana. Back out, over, and the ball in through the legs. Picked up there by Miller. Over to Sanchez. Angeline Sanchez. Slow it down, looking for help. Back over to Miller. Jamea along the baseline, kicks it back out. Nobody home, and it's a turnover on the Saints. So Future Banks will come out. Deja Thompson will check back in. Also coming in is going to be Nakira Jones for the Pilots. So Taylor Jacobs. Back over to Deja Thompson. Thompson. And just across the timeline. Again, ball knocked away. They say that she stepped out of bounds. And a turnover. Saints basketball. So both teams now with 7 turnovers in this very sloppy first quarter. But the Pilots with a 5-point lead on the Saints as we near a minute and a half to go first quarter. Lena Wilson, a little trouble in the back there. Tosses inside Hemphill. Hemphill goes strong, can't get it. Rebound in BK. And they call it travel on Sam and BK and the turnover. So Banks inside to Thompson and throws it up ahead, and again another turnover. As tried to get the pass up ahead over to Jones, and 8 turnovers apiece here. 1:15 to go, quarter number 1, and neither coach looking particularly happy with the early performance of their teams. Here's Miller, 3-pointer straight away, and going to be a whistle. And an offensive foul called on Lena Wilson. That'll be her first, team second. So the inbound coming up here by Deja Thompson, actually in the... So the foul's actually no, and again they have to switch. So the foul's going to be on Emiko Hemphill and not Lena Wilson. That'll be her first, team second still. As we near a minute to go, first quarter. Has a little trouble with the ball just across the line. Turnover. Sanchez over to Miller. Miller goes up, ball stripped away. Stays Saints basketball. 51.2 to go first quarter. And 28 on the shot clock. As Lena Wilson will handle the inbound. Lena, senior from Converse. Back over to Wilson. Wilson, 20 on the shot clock, goes in, left hand, is going to be fouled, and we'll go to the line and shoot 2. Foul is on Kiara Collins. I think that's going to be her second. It is in the bonus, but it was in the act of shooting anyway, so Lena Wilson at the line to shoot here. Lena, 89% free throw shooter coming in and averaging just under 14 points a game. And we'll hit the drought of not scoring. And the Saints have now pulled to within 4. And make it 3. So Future Banks will check back in, and coming out, Kiara Collins. As Thompson will inbound to Jacobs. It's Thompson again, all the way across Sabrina Banks. Back over. And again, to Banks just across the timeline. Sabrina Banks, Euro step inside, can't get it to go, goes back up, whistle and a foul. And now this one's going to be on Lena Wilson. That'll be her first, team's third. That'll send Sabrina Banks to the line. And Sabrina Banks, a 73% free throw shooter on the season, 8.3 a game. As Sam and BK will come out, and Zarina Chatry will check back in for the Saints. So the first shot there for Banks is good. The second shot, we'll get them both, and it's 2 points. Banks, a 5-point lead and a whistle. Inadvertent whistle. 26.5 seconds, shot clock is off. Saints can hold on for the last shot if they so choose to. Essentially, Sanchez over to Lena Wilson. Wilson over to Jamea Miller. Miller, three-pointer straight away. Shot blocked by Thompson. Stolen back again by Miller. Miller right up there, goes too strong. Rebound by Hemphill, goes back up with it, can't get it to go. Back out over to Lena Wilson. Sanchez, three-pointer, got it. Angelina Sanchez with the big three-pointer. And the Saints back within within one, I'm sorry. At 15-14 as we will go to the second quarter here in just a moment. The Saints have fought their way back to trail by one. You're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and KSAT.com. And welcome back to Baby Gymnasium on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University, west side of San Antonio. Mike Thompson here as they switch the scoreboard back on me here, as it is 16-14 as they have the scoreboard correct now as a 2-point lead here at 16-14 at the end of one. Has not been pretty basketball so far for Our Lady of the Lake as they're shooting 27% from the field, 4 of 15 as they started off 0 for 7, so it's nice. They're at 50% from that point on now. 2 of 5 from beyond the arc and just 4 of 8 from one of the nation's best free throw shooting teams right now for the game. LSU-Shreveport right now doing what they need to do, 46% from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, and 3 of 4 for the free throw line. Saints out rebounding the Pilots 11-10 that first quarter, and turnovers 9 apiece. So teams making mistakes early on, but LSU-Shreveport have been the team that has capitalized on those turnovers with 9 points off the turnovers. The Saints with just 3, and they came right at the end with the three-pointer by Angelina Sanchez. So we're waiting here. They get the clock ready to go. Second quarter. And the Saints trail by 2. Sierra Morris. Taylor Jacobs. Sent around over to Sabrina Banks. Up top over to Thompson. Back over to Jacobs. Those Pilots moving around trying to find the shot. 15 on the shot clock is Future Banks. Back over to Thompson. Sabrina Banks left open. Three-pointer. Got it. 5-point lead for the Pilots. Inside Chatry all by herself. Puts it up and in. Zarina Chatry. Zarina Chatry coming back from a sore ankle. The junior from Pristine, Kosovo. And we'll draw the Saints to within 3 here. Back out top. Jacobs wide open straight away off the mark of the rebound. Picked up by Chatry. Desiree White over to Angelina Sanchez. Over top White. Three-pointer for the tie. In and out. No good. Rebound pulled down by Taylor Jacobs. So Jacobs right side over to Banks. Banks looking there. Finds Future Banks. On the side over to Thompson. All the way across Sabrina Banks. Future Banks just beyond the free throw line. Puts that one in. Future Banks. And a 5-point lead again quickly there for the Pilots. As Future Banks now in double figures with 10 points. Right side, Sanchez, the ball knocked away, stays with the Saints, trying to find Desiree White sneaking along that baseline. So Sam and BK will check back in. Serena Chatry will come out. The Saints trying to find Desiree White along that baseline, and Pilots, a good job getting hands in there. There are Pilot hands everywhere. As Hemphill goes up, passes over in BK. Too much, followed back in. Desiree White is good. Back to within 3 now. Near 8 minutes to go till halftime. Leah Silva, back top there. Sanchez gets by Sanchez. Stops up, kind of double pump there, no good, but the offensive rebound, able to put it back in there by Nakira Jones. So Sanchez bringing it back. Comes right side off the screen. Looking for the side, and Sabrina Banks, that long stretch, gets that arm out there, knocked the ball away. Stays with Saints. So Sanchez will come out. Casey Saldana will come in with 7:39 to go here in this first quarter. Lena Wilson. Wilson moving towards there, stops, and they're going to call a travel on the shot there of Lena Wilson. As the whistles are definitely out on the travel call here early in this one. I think that's like the 4th call here in this first half. And again, and it's going to be, actually no, foul. Looked like she was going to call travel there. It's going to be a foul call. Foul will be on Miko Hemphill. That'll be her second. Team's first here with 7:25 to go until halftime. So that'll bring Serena Chatry back in. As Miko Hemphill will come out. Go the junior from San Antonio. Transferred from Coastal Bend. It's a timeout, 30-second timeout. Called here by the Saints with 7:25 to go until halftime. Coming up after this will be the men's game, taking on LSU-Shreveport. About 25-30 minutes at the conclusion of this one. And again, we'll have Saints basketball coming back to you again on Saturday, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as LSU Alexandria will be in town to take on both the women and men's teams. Women at 2 o'clock, and the men will take on the Generals at 4 o'clock. So Silva up top there over to Thompson. Shot over the top, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Desiree White. White back the other way against Sabrina Banks and goes off the foot. And they're going to say Pilots basketball. So another turnover. That's 11 turnovers for the Saints here in this first half. So Thompson gets ahead in the front court. All the way across Future Banks underneath the basket. Now kicks back out. And a 3, no good. Rebound followed back up. Thompson, no good. Tipped over to Desiree White. White pushing ahead. Over to Chatry. Chatry goes up. Misses the layup. Followed back up. Missed by MBK. Trying to put it back up again. Can't get it to go. As Kristen Fellows pulls down the rebound for the Pilots. Ball up ahead, knocked away, turnover, back the other way come the Saints. Looking to MBK, MBK puts it up and rolls off, can't get it to go. And again, Lena Wilson with it, comes back out with it. Sam MBK trying to save it, and it's going to be Saints basketball. Not sure how it's the Saints basketball, but that's what they're saying, it's going to be Saints basketball. I think the Pilots have a valid argument on that one. So Lena Wilson between the circles gets around over to Saldana. So Lena. Desiree White, 5 on the shot clock for White. Puts up a 3, got it. Rattled it home for Desiree White. And the Saints will draw back to within 2 here. And that's 6 points now for Desiree White. And a travel and a turnover. Another travel call. So 6:02 to go until halftime, and the Saints with a chance to tie or take the lead here. They have trailed this entire first half. Lena Wilson comes right side. Back around over to MBK. Sam MBK comes right. Now back over to the left. Over Future Banks. Long two-pointer. No good. Rebound tipped over and picked up by Deasia Thompson. Leah Silva over to Sabrina Banks. Banks now front court. Right or left wing. Gets back out there. Gets away with possible steps there. Silva. Ball tipped away by Desiree White. Desiree White averaging just under 2.5 steals a game. Almost had another one there. She's second on the team in steals behind Casey Saldana at 2 point, just over 2.5 herself there. Actually, I know at 2.38 Casey Saldana and 2.25 for Desiree White. So giving her a few more steals there. I did. As Banks now inside the lane goes up left hand hook shot, no good. Tried to get it off before the shot clock, and MBK goes, and that's going to be a foul on Leah Silva. As MBK able to avoid, looked like they might have been able to let that one go in either way. As it's going to be a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by the Pilots here with 5:13 to go until halftime. As the Saints again with a chance to try and tie it and take their first lead of the game. So right now, 23-21, Pilots with the lead. Saints still struggling from the field, getting a little bit better. Getting just a little bit better as they're inching up there, 29% now, 7 of 24 for the game. Pilots 9 of 22. They're starting to drop a bit, just over 41% from the field. Saints out rebounding the Pilots, 18-15. Now the turnovers, that's big. Both teams, 11 turnovers in this first half. Not a clean game for either one so far. As now we get ready to get things back and going here with 5:13 to go until halftime. Desiree White finds Lena Wilson in the backcourt. Lena now comes front court. The left side over to MBK. BK finds Saldana. Saldana comes around behind the back, tries to force it inside, tipped up and a turnover. And able to keep control there. And now to the front court, over to Fellows. Fellows gets back over to Taylor Jacobs. Jacobs finds Thompson. Deasia Thompson. Up top there over to Fellows. Sabrina Banks. Banks back out to the corner. Thompson left open. Three-pointer. Got it. And the Pilots pop the lead back up to 5 here with 4.5 minutes to go until halftime. Lena Wilson caught with the ball behind over to Desiree White. And again, finding some space behind the Pilot defense. And that's the third time that has happened, so the Saints definitely saw something in the game field. And that's going to be a whistle and a foul. They're going to call. No. Inadvertent whistle. Second time here in the half. As I think she was going to call a foul on Casey Saldana and then realized it wasn't a foul. She tried to, she called it before the contact, expecting the contact. Didn't happen. So the officials struggling a bit tonight here in San Antonio. 4:15 to go till halftime. Pilots ball, 26-23. Up ahead over to Banks. Jacobs over to Thompson. Up top, Fellows. Banks, Fellows, three-pointer, got it. 6-point lead now for the Pilots as they are starting to heat up from beyond the arc. Just 1 of 2 in that first quarter. And now they have hit 3 in the second, and that's going to be called an offensive foul. As Desiree White will pick up the foul. That'll be her first, team's second now. So Sabrina Banks into the front court, goes and dishes off over to Future Banks. Underneath, puts it up and in. And a 7-point lead. Ball knocked away as Jamea Miller able to recover there. Future Banks, some hands in there, and Miller three, No good, and Sabrina Banks grabs the long rebound. Back the other way, 3-on-2, all the way to Thompson. Thompson in the corner. And now, over to Banks. Fellows. Jacobs. 31-23 Pilots lead. Sabrina Banks. Over to Fellows, Thompson. Thompson comes back over, back again. Fellows puts up another three. That one off the mark. Another rebound pulled down by Zarita Chatry. 2:51 to go till halftime. Desiree White steps back with it. Goes right side. Looks, goes up, strong whistle and a foul. As the foul is going to be on Sabrina Banks. That'll be her second personal. Team second now with 2:43 to go till halftime. Substitutions coming in now. As Sabrina Banks will come out, and so will Kristen Fellows. Sarah Morris will check in for the Pilots along with Nakira Jones. So Desiree White at the line to shoot free throws. 8 points tonight for Desiree. 8 points, 4 rebounds, hits that one, making 9 points now for Desiree White. Desiree averaging just over 11 points a game on the season. Second one draw the Saints to within 6 here. So Alexandra Strawhorn coming into the game for the Saints. A junior out of Australia. As pressuring on there, gets around over to Jacobs now. Thompson. Jacobs picked up by Sanchez, right over to Thompson. Thompson gets by Strawhorn, puts up a runner, no good. Rebound picked up Angeline Sanchez. Sanchez pushing the ball ahead for the Saints. Sanchez looks inside, trying to force inside to Miller. Nobody there but Pilots, and they come away with it. Back the other way, looking. Gets over to Morris. Morris back up top. And pulled back by Jacobs. Over to Thompson. Morris inside Jones, bobbled it a bit, but finds Future Banks, goes up with it, rattles it home. Saints have not had an answer for Future Banks, as she's now 14 points here in this first half. Future Banks came into it, averaging 13 and a half a game. 18 on the shot clock, 1:41 left to go here in this first half. Goes up strong, short, gets her own rebound, tips it back out over to Sanchez. Sanchez with it. Didn't hit anything. 5 on the shot clock. 4 on the shot clock. Miller puts up a 3. Can't get it. Strawhorn saves it, but a shot clock violation and Pilots basketball. So that will be 15 first half turnovers for the Saints, who do not look like the Saints right now. They are playing a slow basketball, which you got to hand it to the Pilots for slowing the game down. Back around. Jacobs up top, Future Banks. Back around, left open, now over to Thompson, who's open. 3 is good. And it is now an 11-point lead, double-digit lead with 50 seconds to go until halftime. Lena Wilson. Inside Chatry. Mishandled the basketball. Up top, Miller. Miller with 12 seconds goes in, whistle, foul. 2 shots coming up. And I think the foul is going to be on Nakira Johnson. And that will be the case. Or Jones, I'm sorry, who picks up her first personal. Team's 3rd foul. Now Jamia Miller at the line to shoot. Jamia Miller, a senior from Odessa, Texas, at the line to shoot. So Chatry will come out and BK back in. And off the mark, as even Jamia Miller, a 90% free throw shooter on the season, off the mark on that one. 90 points, just 90% from the line, just under 11 a game, and she will miss both of them. And the Saints looking like they are the team that have had the long layoff. Inside their ball on the ground, picked up, stolen by Sanchez, now over to Wilson, to Miller, lays it up and too much and misses it. Missed layups have been key in this one, or missed shots from close inside. And now Pilots with a chance to take the last shot with an 11-point lead. 5 seconds. Cross, Deja Thompson will go up, put up a shot at the buzzer, gets it to go. So the Saints struggling in the first half from the field, sloppy with turnovers, and they find themselves down by 13 at halftime. We'll take a break. We'll be back. The stats here in a bit. You're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and KSAT.com. Welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium, beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University. We're at halftime as right now the Saints trailing 38-25 to the Pilots of LSU-Shreveport. If you tuned in to see some great basketball, well, not really getting it, as both teams have been very sloppy in the game. Just LSU-Shreveport has been a lot better at shooting from the field than the Saints have here in this one. Pilots at 50% right now from the field in the game, 15 of 30. They're 5 of 9 from 3 and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Saints have struggled every part of shooting, as they are 8 of 29 from the field and just 4 shots made, or just 3 shots made in that. Oh, let me double check that again. No, just 3 shots made in that second quarter by the Saints, as they find themselves down 3 of 9 from 3 and 6 of 12 from the free throw line. Bright spot, Saints 21 rebounds in the game to 19 for the Pilots. It's been a big first half for Future Banks, 14 points above her season average, as she came in averaging 13 and a half a game. Also a big night so far for Deasia Thompson, averaging 15 a game, and she's got 13 here in the first half. They have been the lifeblood for the Pilots, keeping this the Saints down every time they need a shot. They seem to find a way to hit it. Saints on the other side, one player in double figures right now, 10 points, Desiree White, on 3 of 6 shooting in the game, 1 of 3 from 3 and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 14 turnovers for the Saints in the first half, 12 for the Pilots, so neither team really taking good care of the basketball. Not a lot of fouls so far. Only foul difficulty right now, as we have Leah Silva with 2 fouls. Sabrina Banks has 2 fouls, and also coming in with, those are the only players with multiple fouls for the Pilots. For the Saints in that department, just Amiko Hemphill with 2 fouls, as just a total of 5 fouls called on the Saints in the first half, 9 for the Pilots, as the Pilots had 6 of those in that first quarter. Minute and a half away from the start of the second half. We're going to take one more break, and we will be back with your second half of basketball. Saints trailing 38-25 to the Pilots of Louisiana State University Shreveport. You're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and KSAT.com. Welcome back. Saints will have the ball to start the second half, trailing by 13. That's the first time the Saints have trailed at halftime since playing the Masters in early November. Ball knocked away. Stay Saints basketball, 9:51 to go third quarter. 38-25 the score. Lowest point total and a half for the Saints this season. Shot blocked by Silva, the shot from Saldana. And back the other way, the Pilots looking to extend their lead to start the second half. Banks, three-pointer, no good. And the rebound, Future Banks goes back up with it, can't get it to go, and the rebound pulled down by Desiree White. White going straight for the basket, trying to get through defenders, whistle and foul. And who's it going to be on? Is it going to be Thompson or is it going to be Silva? The foul will be on Leah Silva. That's going to be her third, so that is going to put her in some foul difficulties. As Leah Silva, just over 9.5 a game, will come out with her third foul. As Silva, just 1 point in that first half. Lena Wilson, 20 on the shot clock, steps back with it against Thompson. Goes back in, goes up strong, can't get it to go. And the rebound again by Thompson. So Pilots doing a good job defensively, and there, tipped up by Desiree White, lays it up and good. That's what the Saints are going to need to look for in the second half, is a quick transition off turnovers. As the Pilots, right before that, I was trying to say the Pilots are collapsing down into the lane, so not giving the Saints a chance to drive for the basket. Making it very difficult, stolen turnover the other way. Back to go. Pilots back defensively though. Sanchez inside, kicks back out over to Desiree White, 15-footer, got it. So Desiree White has come out strong here in this third quarter. And back the other way, Banks, no good. A rebound picked up by Sanchez. Back the other way. Actually, it wasn't Banks, I'm sorry. Now off the foot of Sanchez, turnover. Now Future Banks. Kicks outside, three-pointer by Collins. Thought about a three, will hold it back, and now get it over to Taylor Jacobs. Wilson on Jacobs. 15 on the shot clock, tries to get inside over to Collins. Collins finds Sabrina Banks against Mbike. And we'll get it back out. Thompson puts up a three over Saldana, nailed it. 16 for Thompson. Inside Wilson, over to Sanchez. Sanchez dribbles up high, gets around over to Saldana. Casey Saldana looking, goes one way, back the other, and the ball on the floor picked up by Jacobs, will hand it over to Collins. PR Collins, ball on the floor, stolen by Desiree White. And so it's going to be blocked from behind. That will be Saints basketball. There's a block there by Asia Thompson. That's White to Miller. Miller inside, shot again blocked. As the Pilots having a block party here tonight against the Saints. Back inside, back to the quarter. And inside, and not able to go, but the rebound for Mbike, back up and good off the glass. Sam Mbike. Draw the Saints back to within 10 now. Sabrina Banks, and a timeout called by the Pilots. And that is going to be a 30-second timeout. As right now the Saints have come out, outscored the Pilots 6-3 early on here in this third quarter. The help of Desiree White. Desiree White now with 14 points in the game. Sam Mbike with her getting her fifth point there a moment ago. I'll go along with 9 rebounds. As a first warning there. There's 6:56 left to go here in quarter number 3. The Saints find themselves down by 10 here. Trailed by 13 at the half. And now the Asia Thompson will inbound to Taylor Jacobs. Jacobs covered by Sanchez. Jacobs off to the corner, hits the floor over to Collins. Kiara Collins against Jamea Miller. Looking for some help, lost the dribble, now finds over to Deja Thompson, puts up a shot blocked by Lena Wilson. Back the other way, Desiree White. So Angeline Sanchez, left side over to Miller. Miller on the wing, near side. 15 on the shot clock inside to Lena Wilson. Puts up a tough shot, can't get it to go. Saints having trouble with the height, the length of the defenders of the Pilots inside. Collins, back up top, Jacobs. Quickly closed in, now inside over to Sabrina Banks. Banks off the glass and good as she went up over Sam Mbike. So Sanchez back. Sabrina Banks now with 7. Lena Wilson inside Mbike again. Saints been able to get behind the defense. As MBK will make it back to a 10-point deficit for the Saints. An overthrow the top, turnover. Saints basketball, 5.5 to go here, quarter number 3. So Collins will come out, and Morris will come in for the Pilots. Sierra Morris. As the Saints with the basketball here. Sanchez hands over to Wilson. Wilson found a lane for a moment. Quickly closed down. Back out over to Jamea Miller. Miller goes baseline. Whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be called on Kristen Fellows. So Kristen Fellows picks up her first personal. Team foul number 2. Jamea Miller back at the line, where she is 1 of 2 tonight from the free throw line. And now gets that one. 7 points for Jamea Miller. And the Saints will get under the double-digit deficit down to 9 now. And now both of them hit for Miller. Saints back to within 8. 5:14 to go third quarter. Deja Thompson putting pressure in, gets over Sabrina Banks. Banks across the timeline just in time. Over to Thompson, finds Jacobs. Halfway point of the third quarter. Jacobs right for the basket, goes up, whistle and a foul. And the foul is on Desiree White. That'll be her second, team second. Oh, team's first, actually. So Taylor Jacobs at the line to shoot 2 here. First shot there for Jacobs is good. Jacobs, 79% free throw shooter on the season, averaging 6 a game coming in to tonight. Jacobs with her first point, second point there is good. And a 10-point lead for the Pilots under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Angelina Sanchez slipping. It's inside MBK, goes up strong, shot blocked by Deja Thompson. Lucky trying to get out of trouble there and gets around over to Thompson. Deja Thompson against Sanchez. Up top over to Jacobs. Jamea Miller on Jacobs. Now looking to get inside over to Thompson, whistling a foul. The foul is going to be on Angelina Sanchez. So her first personal, team second foul now. So Taylor Jacobs inbounds over to Future Banks. And Future Banks stepped on the line, and it'll be a turnover and be Saints basketball. So 17 turnovers now for the Pilots. And the Saints, who make a living off of feeding off turnovers, have not been able to do it tonight. It's 14 points off the turnovers. Back out, Miller, three-pointer, straight away. Won't get it to go. The rebound pulled down by Taylor Jacobs. Jacobs in the backcourt, covered by Sanchez, all the way across court over to Thompson. Thompson ahead over to Banks. Banks looks around, little quick pass back out over to Taylor Jacobs. 8 on the shot clock now. It's around over to Fellows. Banks with 3 on the shot clock, puts up the shot, in and out, no good. Rebound tipped over to Angelina Sanchez. Sanchez looks back out, Wilson, three-pointer wing, and that one won't go as well. The rebound pulled down by Sabrina Banks. We near 3 minutes ago. Deja Thompson kind of mishandles it and throws it away right over to Sanchez. Sanchez ahead, over to Desiree White. White on the wing, guarded by Jacobs. Loses the ball on the ground, able to come back up with it. Looking for some help, throws all the way across over to Lena Wilson. Three-pointer from the other side. That one won't go either. Jamea Miller rebound, and the foul is on Taylor Jacobs. First personal, team third. As Amico Hemphill will check in for Jamea Miller. And checking in will be Leah Silva for the Pilots as Deasia Thompson will come out. White over to Hemphill. Hemphill goes in, whistle foul, will go to the line to shoot two. So Future Banks picks up the foul. That'll be her first. Team's fourth here. So Hemphill at the line to shoot. So Miko off the mark there. 56% free throw shooter all the season. Averaging 6 a game for the Saints. The second shot coming here for Hemphill. Got the second one. Saints back to within 9, 2:41 to go here. The third quarter. It's been a Pilot-paced game, and the steal there. And Sanchez, again, Saints not able to get into a transition. As Hemphill inside, goes up there strong, can't get it to go, and the rebound pulled down by Fellows. Saints just 3 shots hit in this third quarter with 2:12 left to play. Back out. Route over to Sabrina Banks. Back out to Jacobs. Silva up top. Fellows looks pass inside to Future Banks. Too hard. Sabrina Banks has the ball knocked away. Right over to Fellows. Fellows throws it up as the shot clock's expiring, and it goes in for the Pilots. 11-point lead for the Pilots. Inside, Hemphill goes up, puts it up and in. Not Sam and BK, that is. Puts that in. Back to a 9-point deficit for the Saints. 9 points, 9 rebounds for Sam and BK. Tipped away, and Sanchez picks it up. Saints not running back on transition. Trying to get it ahead. As the Saints looking slow tonight. And it'll be the Pilots' ball. Back around now. Head over to Sabrina Banks. As Jamea Miller gets ready to check in for the Saints. Silva up top, Fellows. And Kiara Collins gets ready for the Pilots. As I say that Desiree White stepped on the line before able to make the save in. The Pilots will make the change. Jamea Miller will come back, and Saints not going to make the change on this dead ball. Kaviana Barber will check in. It looks like she's getting ready to make her first appearance. Up in the air as Silva gets it. Quarter, there's Jacobs through defenders, goes up there, shot blocked by Mbike. Back the other way. It's White over to Sanchez now. To Wilson. Wilson gets by defenders, goes up strong. Whistle and a foul on Silva, and that's going to be 4 on Leah Silva. So Leah Silva picks up her 4th, and Morris will be coming in now. And at the line will be Lena Wilson. As Wilson with just 4 points tonight at the line to shoot. Lena came into the game averaging almost 14 a game and misses the free throw. Second shot, missed them both. Lena Wilson, an 89% free throw shooter, misses both. And the Saints continue there. That's going to be knocked away. Stays Pilots basketball. So Lena Wilson comes out. Jamea Miller comes in. The Saints now 9 of 18 for the free throw line. The backcourt looks, and 10-second violation are the Pilots. So the Saints with a chance to cut into this deficit a little bit more here with 28.1 left to go third quarter, trailing by 9. As Barber dribbles right side. It's up top over to Miller. Miller. Right over to MBK. BK all the way across. Over to White. Looks. Barber, 3 straight away. Short. And trying to save it. Can't do it. And 28 or 8.2 left to go here in this third quarter. Back across, Thompson, up ahead, over to Banks, 3 at the buzzer, off the front iron, no good. And we'll go to the fourth quarter with the Saints trailing 47-38 to the Pilots. Got some work to do to come back in this one as you're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and ksat.com. And welcome back. 47-38, Saints trailing to the Pilots right here as we get ready for the fourth quarter to get underway. Saints looked better defensively there in that third quarter, holding the Pilots to just 9 points in that third quarter. And the shooting still just terrible for the Saints here. So they're at 30 or 29% still for the game, and the Pilots at 44%. Saints just 3 of 12 from 3. The Pilots 6 of 12. Pilots 5 of 6 from the free throw line. The Saints 9 of 18 and trail by 9. Desiree White from the wing near side. Over to Barber. Barber looks over at Tiffany Lopez, who makes her first appearance. Will miss that shot from the baseline. And now back the other way come the Pilots, trying to put the lead back over double digits, and a whistle and a foul on Keviana Barber. Picks up her first, team's first now. 9:37 to go, fourth quarter. As the Pilots have come in here and they're looking for the upset. Up top, around over to Future Banks. Now Sabrina Banks. Around the side, now looking. Banks. Steps over, thought about taking the shot, now gets back out. Deasia Thompson, three-pointer, no good. Rebound pulled down by Miko Hemphill. To Barber now. Barber pushes ahead, over to Miller. Miller, inside, no, actually out to Desiree White. White, looking to go inside. Has the ball knocked away, now able to pick it back up. Over to Barber. Barber off the screen, looks inside, puts the runner. No good, and the rebound again pulled down by the Pilots. And the Saints right now couldn't hit the water if they fell out of a boat. Go right into the lane, a shot up the mark, no good by Future Banks, and the rebound picked up by Hemphill. And there, the turnover the other way. Inside, Future Banks goes up, and shot blocked by Desiree White. So Casey Saldana coming in, along with Sam and BK and Lena Wilson, Amiko Hemphill, Keviana Barber, and Lena Wilson out for the Saints here. As the inbound here is Sierra Morris. Morris off to the side of Sabrina Banks. Finds Deasia Thompson. Back over Morris up top. Morris there. Ball tipped away and the turnover picked up by Tiffany Lopez. Over to Lena Wilson. Wilson will bring it back. We'll hand off over to Desiree White. And everyone just standing still on the court there. It's Lena Wilson. Now looks inside. Amico has Sam and BK. Puts it up, and now 10 points, or 11 points for Sam and BK. And the Saints to within 7. Off the side here. Need a defensive stop. As Morris steps back with it. Pilots want to take a lot of time, and they are. 10 on the shot clock. Banks around the future. Banks. Ball knocked away by Casey Saldana. Back to Saldana. Goes straight for the basket. Gonna miss it. And back the other way, the Pilots. As the Saints, their own worst enemy tonight. Trailing by 7. And the long 2, no good. And the rebound knocked away. Saints basketball. Last touch there by Nakira Jones. And going to be a timeout call. It's going to be a full timeout called by the Pilots. 7:13 left to go in this one. Pilots by 7 over the Saints. You're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and KSAT.com. And welcome back. Maybe Gymnasium on the beautiful campus of Our Lady Lake University on the west side of San Antonio, just outside downtown San Antonio. And the Saints right now, 9-game winning streak. And their undefeated conference mark in jeopardy to fellow undefeated conference member Louisiana State University Shreveport. 7:07 to go in the fourth. Saints have trailed by as many as 13, and BK puts up a 3. And can't hit anything. And pressure in the backcourt. Gets around as Deasia Thompson now front court. Kicks around and the shot up and good. Put in there by Jones. Nine-point lead for the Pilots. 6.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Tiffany Lopez. Little hook shot is good for the freshman from San Antonio. Actually, not from San Antonio. She is from San Antonio Memorial High School. So Casey Saldana picks up the foul. That'll be her first personal, team second here. 6:27 to go, fourth quarter. Ball tipped away and stolen by Desiree White. Puts it in, count the basket, and a chance for an and one. So the Saints now trail by 5 with a chance to get it to within 4. With a chance to get it to within 4 and get it for the first time since the second quarter. So Leah Silva will check back in with 5 fouls. It's a second foul called there on Deasia Thompson. So Desiree White at the line now. 16 points, 6 rebounds for White, and they get 17 points. (49-45) Pilots with the lead on the Saints here as we near 6 minutes to go. Sabrina Banks along the baseline against MBK. Goes inside, goes off with the shovel. as a foul is going to be called on Sam Mbike despite the contact with the shoulder from Sabrina Banks. As she just kind of went in and forced contact to the chest of Mbike. So now 2 shots coming for Banks. Sabrina Banks, 7 points, 6 rebounds tonight. Making 8 points for Banks. And the Pilots up by 5 here. Second shot. Got them both. 6-point lead. 51-45. 6 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Up top, Saldana. Saldana goes up. Whistle, and the foul is going to be on Deja Thompson. That'll be her third. It's Deja Thompson. Second team foul. So Casey Saldana at the line. As Casey Saldana looking for her first points of the game. She is the team's leading scorer. We'll put the first one in. That's Casey, 17.2 a game, and that's her first point of the game coming here. And she hit them both. Back again to within 4. Saints with the pressure, Sabrina Banks. Inside Future Banks and able to switch the shot and get it up there over Sam Mbike. Selena Wilson going in off the, and it's going to be whistle, and the foul is going to be on Taylor Jacobs. And so now 2 shots coming here for Lena Wilson. And Wilson also has had a very off night with 4 points so far now at the line. She missed both free throws her last time down. And she'll hit that one. Second shot coming for Lena Wilson. Got them both. Saints trail again by 4. Looking for a stop. Goes up, whistle, and the foul is on Tiffany Lopez. That'll be her first, team's 4th. And so Future Banks will go to the line to shoot. Future Banks had 14 at halftime, was held to 2 in that third quarter. And now looking for her first points of the fourth quarter. 16 points, 6 rebounds. And the free throw is good. 5-point lead for the Pilots. Second shot coming here. Got it. 18 points for Future Banks. 6-point Pilot lead. 5:22 to go in the fourth. Wilson over to Desiree White. White looking inside. Saldana, shot blocked by Deja Thompson. Deja Thompson. Deja Thompson has, not sure on the exact number. So they said she had no blocks in the first half, and that's not correct. 3-pointer off the mark, and again, it's not able to hit the 3 there. Ball knocked away, picked up, ran now over to Silva. Leah Silva off the side, Sabrina Banks. No good, and the rebound as Future Banks comes down. The foul is going to be on Lena Wilson as she came down underneath Future Banks coming for the rebound. Now Banks will go to the line. That's Bits. Saints, or the Pilots in the bonus for the remaining 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Now Future Banks can put the Pilots up by 8 if she can hit both of these. First one is good. Second shot coming. Saints trail by 8. 57-49. Got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to turn it around. As Lopez comes along the baseline and puts it up. Back to within 6. Pressure in the back. Throws it, ball stolen away by Sam Mbike. Mbike losing it, throws it behind Casey Saldana. And the turnover. Pilots have done a fantastic job tonight of halting the Saints transition, but the turnover there. Neither team have taken care of the ball tonight. 26 turnovers for the Pilots, 18 for the Saints. Saints just 4 in the second half, but that was a bad one a moment ago. Saldana steps back along 2, and the Saints shot selection very questionable tonight. Jacobs. And a whistle and a foul on Casey Saldana. And again, moments in the game where the officials will let a lot of contact go, and then moments where there's things like that. And it's happened on both sides tonight. You've been able to see frustration by both Stacey Stevens and Matt Strickland. Free throws, that one bounces his way in off the back iron there, and good by Taylor Jacobs. Second shot coming up for Jacobs, who has 3 points now in the game. Eight-point lead, 59-51. As Angelina Sanchez has checked in, Casey Saldana has come out. Saldana, 2 points tonight. And a turnover. And a timeout called, full timeout. We'll take it as well. 3:31 left in this one, 59-51. Pilots lead the Saints. You're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and KSAT.com. And welcome back. 3:31 left to go here, fourth quarter. Saints trail by 8. They have a steep hill to climb here against the Pilots, who have played great defense against the 16th ranked team in the country. And the Saints have helped them out as well, shooting poor and making bad turnovers at bad times and not hitting free throws. And Thompson, easy one to the lane. 10-point lead. And BK puts it up and in, Sam and BK. So 13 points, 9 rebounds, and that's going to be jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Pilots. So Deja Thompson. There to Future Banks, to Sabrina Banks, and now Jacobs with it, and they will hold on to the ball, milking this clock as much as they can. Saints need to stop them. Thompson, shot is off the mark, and there, Saints in transition now. But again, slowing down because they get back on defense. No one moving. As Barber inside, goes up, can't get it to go. Rebound tipped out, picked up by Lena Wilson. Wilson up top, left side. Goes inside, puts up a shot, whistle, and a foul. And the foul is going to be on Sabrina Banks. That'll be her third, team's fourth. 2:15 left, Saints basketball. Shot clock at 20. And BK out over to Barber. Looks back over to White. White, right side, now back towards the baseline. Cut off, 10 seconds on the floor. Nobody there. Jump, actually timeout call beforehand. So the jump ball possession will stay Saints side. And going to be a 30-second timeout with 2:05 to go here in this fourth quarter, and Saints trailing by 8 points. That's not been a pretty night here in San Antonio. As the Saints have struggled from the field. They've struggled from 2, from 3, and from the free throw line. And now they trail by 8, trail by 13 at halftime. So now will be Saints basketball on the side. So the inbound, MBK to Barber. Barber with a 3 from the wing, can't get it to go. Lopez had it for a moment on the floor, and away out of bounds, Saints basketball. 1:54 left. 20 on the shot clock. MBK. Looking over to Barber. Inside MBK. MBK puts it up and good. 15 for Sam MBK. We'll get it back to within 6 here. 1:39 left. As Jacobs to Silva. Silva going right for the basket. Takes a shot early. Rattles it home. 8-point lead again. 1:22 left to go. Barber hands off to White, back over to Barber. Off the screen, right side, goes towards the basket, puts it up, in for Barber. Back again to within 6, 1:08 left to go. Jacobs in the backcourt looking, and Jacobs goes down. Turnover, picked up by Desiree White. White goes and a whistle and a foul on Taylor Jacobs. That'll be her 4th personal, team's 5th. So Desiree White at the line to try and draw the Saints to within 4 here with 56.5 left. As Desiree White. 17.7 rebounds tonight. 18 and 7 now. Second shot coming. Got them both. Timeout called by the Pilots as they will advance it to half court. It's going to be a full timeout because they're out of 30s. So we'll take a quick break. 56.5 left to go. Saints trail by 4. You're watching Saints basketball. The OLLU Saints Network and KSOUT.com. And welcome back. What has been big in the Saints comeback here in the second half. Saints with 14 turnovers at the half. They now have 6 in the second half. 12 turnovers in the first half for LSU-Shreveport, 15 here in the second half. 27 total. Looking and got it inside. Just beat the 5-second count. This Thompson. 50 seconds left. Thompson right side, whistle and a foul on Sam and BK. So free throws coming here for Deasia Thompson, who's a 70% free throw shooter on the season. She has 18 points and 8 rebounds tonight. And her first trip to the free throw line and a chance to make it 5 or a 6-point game, and it's 5 now. Second shot, 47.1 seconds left here. Thompson now at 19. And she'll miss the second. Timeout called by the Saints. It's going to be a full timeout. They're calling a timeout to advance it to midcourt on the far side. Wait for the official call of the timeout. It's full. 46.7 seconds left. Timeout. You're watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network, KSAT.com. And welcome back. 46.7 seconds left. Saints trail by 5. Get a break there as Deasia Thompson misses the first Pilot free throw since their first free throw of the game. 46.7 seconds left. Both teams one timeout. Saints possession arrow. Desiree White with it. Got caught there. Gets over to Lena Wilson. Puts up a wild shot. Don't quite understand that. Quickly back the other way. Sabrina Banks looking, and she's going to bring it out smartly. And Saints try and commit a foul. Nothing called. And a lot of time. And everybody's standing around, and finally a whistle called. As the Saints, right there, that sequence of them trying to foul has shown you just what kind of night it's been for them, as they just flat-footed and not really moving. And off the mark. As Thompson missing her last two. And again, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. Next shot coming. Missed them both. Still some life for the Saints. Shot clock is off. Desiree White goes up there. And nothing called there. Lots of contact, and they're going to let it go. Wow. 5-point lead. It's going to be Saints basketball. But they were hoping for a foul there. And it could have gone either way, really. But the officials not calling anything there. So Desiree White here. Up top, Saldana. Saldana steps back, three is short. And a whistle on the foul on Jamia Miller. And Sabrina Banks will go to the line. And that, if she hits one, that's probably going to do it. As the shot is up and good. Last conference home game Saints lost was to LSU-Shreveport. And that was back in 2000. Whistle timeout going to be called. And that was back in 2017. And so right now, Saints trailing 65-59 with 14 seconds left to go in this one. Remember, coming up after this one's going to be men's basketball. As the men will be taking on LSU-Shreveport. And the women, their next action is going to be Saturday, 2 o'clock against Louisiana State University Alexandria. Right now we're up in Austin taking on Houston Tillotson. Don't have a score on that one yet. It's going to be Saints basketball, 14 seconds left in BK. Puts up a three, can't get it to go. Lena Wilson gets it fouled, but can't get it to go. And that has been the story all night. The Saints cannot hit a shot inside. So Lena Wilson will go to the line. That's 5 fouls on Taylor Jacobs. And she's going to foul out with 4 points and 3 rebounds. As Kristen Fellows will come in. And first shot is good for Lena Wilson. They trail by 5. The second shot, got them both. 5-point lead, timeout call by LSU Shreveport. And that's going to be a full, 30-second timeout. Their last 30. So they're going to 30, and so the Saints, looks like they're going to fall in this one. And it looks like they're going to drop down to 14-5 on the season. Or 14-6 on the season. 4-1 in conference play. LSU Shreveport will improve to 11-3 and 5-0 in conference play. Pardon me, and depending on what happened in Austin tonight, they will either be in first place by themselves or tied with LSU Alexandria, and that's a turnover back the other way now. 8.3 seconds left. And they want to make and now they're going to make the substitution. Casey Saldana will come in. 8.3, 5-point game. Lena Wilson forced to pick it up early. Brings it up 5 seconds. Inside, goes up strong, can't get it to go. And that's going to do it again. And the Pilots are going to upset the 16th ranked team in the country, 65-61. And that's going to do it. Final score 65-61. Take a break. Be back for the men's game here in a moment. You've been watching Saints basketball on the OLLU Saints Network and KSAT.com.